Hello, you are listening to WHEI 88.9, broadcasting live from Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio. You are listening to the Nashty Freys Show with myself, Kyle Nash, Dominic Fry, and Sean Humphreys. We just got through our first topic here about Kobe. Now we're going to move on to another great topic. This one I think will be pretty good, since we're a sports talk show. We'll talk about what are our favorite moments that we got to watch live in sports. We're never going to get to see another 60-point performance again by Kobe Bryant in our lifetime. And that was cool to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Sean first, what was the big moment that you got to see live?
Well, not to hate on you, Kyle, because I know you're such a Patriots fan. And not to say the least, I'm not that big of a Giants fan, but to say that I got to watch this live, I definitely think that this was a cool moment. Watching that comeback by the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm from Cincinnati, I'm from the Dayton area. The Bengals, bless their hearts, they haven't done anything big in the playoffs. The Cincinnati Reds haven't done anything since 1990 in baseball. So, my hometown sports really haven't had anything cool. But I think watching that Super Bowl when Tom Brady comes and just gets beat by Eli Manning with that touchdown pass in the corner, I think that was probably one of my favorite sports, that I personally got to watch live. I wasn't alive or I wasn't really old enough to watch, anything really big by MJ yet, or actually really get to see my boy Steve Nash, rep anything. But that was probably my best sports moment. All right, Don, what about you? What's your favorite
Man,
sports
mine. Oh my gosh. Well, there's two that really come to mind. Two that for me, I know. I'll narrow it down to one. But I think of the ones that, that were for the team that I was cheering for, and they, the games that really got me into it. So the first one and probably the one that I'd say is number one, is from the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals, when my Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the Orlando Magic. They lost in Game 1 at Cleveland. This is a must-win Game 2. Must-win Game 2. They can't go down 2-0 going to Orlando. They might as well just call it a series at this point. And the Magic, I remember watching the game in my basement, and it was summer. I didn't even have a job or anything, but my family was all going to bed, and my dad's like, well, you got to go to bed. And I was like, what? I was like, Dad, the Cavs game is on. He's like, oh, just go to bed. I go to bed, and I'm laying there for 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I got to go downstairs. I got to watch this game. So I sneak downstairs, don't even have the lights on or anything, just have the television, watching it dead silent. And at the end of the game, the Cavs down by 2. Oh my! I don't even know. 1.5 seconds left. LeBron James cuts the basket, runs up. They pass it from out of bounds, nails the 3 at the buzzer. I don't even. Hito Turkoglu maybe. Hito Turkoglu in his face. I just remember the ball bounced on both sides of the rim going in. Oh my! That was probably one of the happiest moments I've ever had in my entire life. I'm just running around my basement, screaming silently, which I guess really doesn't make sense if you think about it. But I'm just going crazy, but I can't make a sound at all because my whole family's sleeping. And I just remember going nuts. I was like, I just witnessed this. I was 10 minutes away from just going to bed, but I ended up going back, watching this game. The next morning, I think I watched 3 hours straight of SportsCenter, just the same SportsCenter 3 times in a row, just because they talked about that game over and over and showed highlights of that over and over and over. And that was by far, I would say, the best moment I've ever had, watching a game live. I mean, even though I was really by myself in my basement, but it was phenomenal. It was definitely my greatest experience. And then, a close second, not quite, but a close second, I would say my boy Johnny Manziel playing for Texas A&M, Chick-fil-A Bowl, playing the Duke Blue Devils. And I remember they were down by, 24 points or whatever at halftime, and that was New Year's Eve. So I'm this New Year's Eve party, and, people are we're watching the game, and then all of a sudden Texas A&M's down by 24. Thanks, bro. And, they're down by 24, and people just, give up at this point. They're like, oh, well, and they changed the channel. I'm like, what, dude, we got to finish the game. So I literally, we're hanging out with a bunch of people. I go to my friend's kitchen to watch it on, this 6-inch screen, and I'm watching the game. I'm like, dude, I believe in Johnny. He leads the comeback. I'm going nuts in the kitchen watching on just this inky-dinky. It's the size of, an iPad today. And I'm just going emphatic over Johnny Manziel leading the comeback to get the victory over Duke. Oh my word, that was, I remember going nuts. That was like a whole game that was going nuts. So the Cavs was my favorite moment. Sorry, I just spoke for a really long time.
Oh, it's fine.
But man, those two games, my blood just gets pumping when I think about that, man. I miss Johnny Manziel, miss Johnny football out there. But those were the first two games to really come into my mind. So, what about you, Kyle? You got a game that you watch live that really comes to you?
Yeah, of course I do. The one game that I really, really enjoyed, it was, I believe, I don't even know what year this was, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. When Tom Crean was only a couple years in at Indiana, they took on the number 1 ranked Wildcats of Kentucky with, they really didn't have much.
Do you know what Kentucky team
team?
that was?
I do not know. They did not. I don't think that they won, like the
The national championship.
national championship.
I mean, yeah, they only won when Anthony Davis
It
was
was
there.
Yeah.
it was back when Indiana had, my boy I'm repping tonight, Jordan Halls. They had Christian Watford, young Cody Zeller, young Victor Oladipo, who honestly wasn't that great, and he was only that great on defense, I guess. But they're down, 10 with like 3 minutes left. They make a comeback and they put themselves in a situation for a buzzer beater 3 down 2. They run pretty much the same exact, trail play that was ran in the championship game this year. Just point guard takes it up, draws in the defense, and then just, a pitch back for a 3 on the opposite side of the court, though. And, the famous words, Christian Watford for the win. It was a huge turning point in their season. They made the tournament. It was great stuff. I believe they actually won an ESPY for it. It was pretty sweet to watch. And I was sitting in my living room by myself. It was a Friday night. And I was not about to go to the football game because Indiana was playing number 1 ranked Kentucky, and I just knew something was going to happen. And my dad missed it, and I didn't, and it was great. So,
Yeah, side note, this actually was the year that Kentucky won the national championship.
was it?
That was with Anthony Davis.
Okay,
Anthony Brown was
yeah.
on that team, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Terrence Jones.
Jeez.
It was, I was really excited. That was a big turning point in their season, and honestly, I think that's part of the feud, though, with you. I mean, it's not really a rivalry with Kentucky and Indiana. It's just that they don't schedule a regular season game as much.
Yeah,
And
hardly ever.
I mean, I don't know. That was just something that I think that's what helped, add fuel to the fire there with that little rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things. It's just a rivalry. Like, I understand there are different conferences, but they're both just have phenomenal basketball programs.
Right.
That, over the year, both teams have been really competitive for a really long time. And that's what, produces the rivalry in that situation. But
I agree.
man, do you remember what time, did you say, Kyle, what time of year was that? Was that like December, or I guess if you said football, was that like the beginning of the year?
Yeah, it was like a playoff game that my dad went to, a playoff football game. I believe it was like late November.
Okay.
Or something. I mean, it was like a regional final
Right,
football
so the
game or
game-
something. Our team didn't make it. He was going to watch
Okay,
someone else, but I was not about to do it. It's Indiana.
that's
Big
right,
team.
Indiana basketball.
True that.
Back in the day when they had what built their program for them, I would say now.
True, agreed. All right, well, hey, this was a good little segment here. Good little,
I liked it.
flashback, man. Little throwback Tuesday.
Throwback Tuesday.
Throwback, dude. That's a new thing. All right, well, we are going to go to a song break here. We're going to play a little bit of, I don't know, Kanye West? I don't know, Kanye
I don't
West,
know who
though.
that is either.
I don't know who he is, but for whatever reason, he doesn't want any more parties in L.A., so we'll be right back after this song.
I'd like to say, da 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 But Saint is baby A. I ain't
You're listening to WHEI 88.9, broadcasting live from Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio. You're listening to the Nashty Freys Show. I'm Sean Humphreys, here with my boy Dominic Fry and Kyle Nash. We just got off our second segment, and we're about to move on to our third. We're going to be talking about the NFL now. So we're going to be talking about some draft picks here and whatnot. All right. So Kyle, tell me a little about the NFL and some of the draft picks that are happening.
One major draft pick that we had here was the Tennessee Titans traded the number 1 pick to the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, that's correct. It kind of sounds weird, but
Yeah.
that is correct. They are the Los Angeles Rams
Yeah,
now.
I read
You're
that
like, wait,
right.
did you get that from the right source? Yeah, that is correct.
Oh, ESPN.go.com was messing with me there. So, Dominic, you want to define what actually happened in this trade?
Well,
other than
yeah, I
just
mean, it
the
was
trade?
a blockbuster trade. I mean, I wish I had for sure. Can't even think of the last time that a number 1 pick in the draft was traded. And in this deal, so the Tennessee Titans had the number 1 pick. So they sent that number 1 pick with their 4th round pick and their 6th round pick to the Rams. And in exchange, the Rams gave them their 1st round pick, which is number 15, 2 2nd round picks, a 3rd round pick, and then the Titans will also get the Rams' 1st and 3rd round pick next year as well.
Wow.
All for the very first selection, the 4th pick, their 4th round pick, and their 6th round pick. So basically, it's 3 picks versus 1, 3, 4, 6 picks.
Jeez.
And, I mean, they gave up 2 first-round picks for this 1 pick as well. So, I mean, obviously the Rams from what I've seen, the Rams they're going after a quarterback. They're going after either Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. So, apparently they think something's really special about one of these 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
To give up that much, to give up their first-round pick in next year's draft. I mean, that could be another phenomenal, at number 15 this year, they could still get a quarterback. I mean, they're not going to get one of those 2 guys, probably. But they could still get a decent quarterback and, then still get somebody good next year as well with their first round. But, that's not going to happen with them giving up their picks. But I don't know.
I mean, yeah, the 2 quarterbacks are expected to go the first 2 rounds. If you look here, one by Cleveland, and obviously Los Angeles Rams. How you feel about that, Dominic? With being a
It's
Cleveland
stupid.
fan, there you think
It's
that's another good choice after picking Johnny Manziel, and then washing him up, and then picking another good quarterback up off the streets?
I mean, I just don't understand why, we just signed RG3. And in my mind, if we
True.
signed RG3, let's, give him our confidence and let's play
Right.
him rather than trying to bring somebody else in. I mean, obviously, if you draft a guy right, especially if you draft him at number 2 overall, I kind of want him to be starter from day one because if we're investing that much in him, I want him to be starter from day one. But at the same time, why did we sign RG3 then so we can just sit the bench? And at the same time, why do we want a quarterback competition? At the end of the day, I really don't think that a quarterback competition, in some scenarios it works, but I know hindsight's 2020, but I feel like the quarterback competition between Brian Hoyer and Johnny Manziel literally destroyed our franchise.
Do you think that it might be a wiser choice for them to pick up a defensive threat, just such as Joey Bosa or, DeForest Bunker from Oregon, two high, I mean, they're expected to go 5th and 6th in the draft. Do you think that'd be a better pickup to help out their defense? Or even, you could pick up a great running back in Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, something. I mean, I agree
Right.
with you. By them thinking about taking a quarterback at the second pick, that is just throwing like, oh, we don't trust you, RG3, right there. And I don't like that either. That's
Yeah.
especially investing a lot of money into him. Like, what? I don't understand that there.
Yeah, and even RG3 talked about that a little bit with his experience with the Redskins and about the quarterback competition between him and Kirk Cousins. Because, I mean, let's be real. I understand, obviously, they're being professional as well. But, when you have a quarterback competition like that, that's your job on the line. At the end of the day, you're doing whatever it takes to beat the guy next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than focusing on the team and let's make, I want RG3 to get all the snaps with our first, our best running back, with our best wide receivers, which isn't saying much for the Browns. But, I want him to, be able to practice with the starters rather than having to share time with Carson Wentz or Jared Goff or whoever and sharing snaps at practice. So, I mean, yeah, I would agree. I personally...
Or would you pick up, like, I mean, it's late in the first round, but you got, like, a wide receiver like Will Fuller from Notre Dame. When he has a strong arm quarterback, he is a huge threat. Would you pick up something like that instead of, the quarterback competition like you're talking about?
I mean, personally, I want Joey Bosa. I want either Joey Bosa or an offensive lineman at that position, at that number 2
If
pick
you look
overall.
there, there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah, I
got
want
Georgia
somebody. And then,
lineman.
I mean, because we have the 32nd pick in the draft as well. That we have, the Cleveland Browns do. They have the 2nd overall pick, then the 32nd overall pick. So, with that pick, I want a wide receiver. I don't know if Mike Thomas is going to slip down there from the Ohio State Buckeyes, Fuller. I just want RG3. I want us to have at least a quarterback we put confidence in and to have a wide receiver for him to throw to. I mean, right now,
You lost
I honestly
Josh
can't even
Gordon,
think.
probably.
I mean, Josh Gordon's probably not coming back. Travis Benjamin was our best wide receiver this year. He left.
Yeah, you got traded.
I'm thinking maybe Brian Hartline is our
Yeah.
best
Brian
option. And that's our best option, not a slot receiver, not like he's going to be our go-to guy. No quarterback is going to be able to succeed when they have nobody that can catch the ball.
Hey, no, you still have Jordan Cameron, your awesome tight end, right?
No, Jordan Cameron left like a year or two ago.
Oh, for
We
real?
had Gary Barnage, though.
Yeah.
Gary Barnage played pretty well this last year, and I believe he's still with us. But
I mean, they are projected to pick up wide receiver in the 32nd pick.
But see, and that's what I mean. Projections only mean so much because the Browns never do what they're projected to do. Because the Browns, what they always do is they take a wide receiver. They always get a wide receiver, but they take him in the 4th, 5th round, and then they think they're going to develop him. And let's be real, the Browns can't develop anybody. We need somebody to come in from day one and just be a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal ball player, and just be kind of like Amari Cooper and what he's been for the Oakland Raiders. Just come in from day one and be phenomenal. So, I mean, personally, that's what I want with the Browns. I want the Browns to take Joey Bosa or an offensive line with that 2 pick. And then, a wide receiver with that later pick. But, what do you hoping for the Bengals, Sean? Like, what do you think the Bengals... I mean, I understand, obviously, they're in a different position than the Browns are. They are in a rebuilding process. But,
Right.
what do you think their goals are? What do you want to see them go after in the draft?
Well, I know that the Bengals are for sure wanting to find another wide receiver that can match AJ Green's status. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know that they're looking to. They have I believe like the 24th pick in the first round, and they're looking for a top wide receiver. They're looking for, like a Josh Doxson or a Will Fuller or even a Michael Thomas from Ohio State. Just someone that can match what AJ Green did for their team when he first came in. I mean, from that first season that AJ Green was a wide receiver for their team, he made him and Andy Dalton made that team a playoff contending team their first year on the team, and ever since then they've been to the playoffs the last 5 years in a row. They can't buy a game to save your life in the playoffs, but I mean I know for sure that they're looking for another wide receiver that Andy Dalton can make magic with, like AJ Green, and I really hope that they can get that. I know what else they're looking for. I know they're always looking for offensive and defensive linemen to protect Andy and to go after the other team's quarterback. But I mean, our secondary is extremely tight still. We still have Pac-Man Jones, who still has questionable character, but on the field he's a great player. And I know we still have Perfect, who's gonna be suspended for the Steelers game, which is the second game of the year. Which I still think it's there's a little muggery going around there just for that reason, but I definitely think that the Bengals are going to be back where they were a year from now. Andy Dalton's going to be healthy, and we're going to finally win a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end that's really the key for the Bengals, to just keeping Dalton healthy. I mean, it really is sad. I mean, they played so great this year. We're doing so great, so phenomenal, and then Andy Dalton gets hurt. And, I mean, they still managed to finish off the year decently strong. And, again, we talked about it several times before. Should have beat the Steelers, but just, things fell through. But, what are your opinions, Kyle? Like, what do you think's going on with the draft? Like, Patriots should do, or,
I mean,
or anybody?
Obviously, that they don't have a first-round draft pick this year. They got the 60th.
Wait, why
and the
is that?
61st.
Why don't they have a first-round pick?
I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, does that have anything to do with Deflategate?
Yeah.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, let's talk about the 60th and the 61st draft.
No,
Are you
wait,
just
talk
gonna
about
make
the
fun
what?
of me, or
No,
what?
sorry. I just. Anyways, what were you saying?
So they got projected, help out their defense because, we lost a couple DBs this year and someone on the defensive line, so they're trying to get some young talent to help them out. And it looks like their first 3 picks even. I mean, they're all defensive positions that they're looking at. Starting with the first pick that they're looking at getting is Sean Davis from Maryland, just a DB, to help them out.
That's fair. I mean, yeah.
I don't know what
Patriots.
I mean, they don't need much on their offense.
No.
Pretty much everyone's back.
I mean, how old is Tom Brady these days? He's getting into his 40s, isn't he?
He's
I don't know.
he's getting up there actually.
He's
I don't
gotta
know.
be,
I
playing
thought he
great
was
ball.
39 or 40.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's in. I mean, I don't think. Wait, isn't Peyton Manning? Peyton Manning's 39, correct?
I mean, I know he was.
Tom Brady is 38 years old.
38.
Yeah, actually, but he'll be 39 in
By the time the
August.
season
So by the season starts, he'll be 39.
Yeah, I mean he's getting up there, but he can still. I mean he can still throw the ball like no one else
Right.
business. So.
I mean, honestly, if I'm the Patriots, it might not be the dumbest thing to take a quarterback in late in the draft. Take a
Late.
quarterback late, somebody that they think can sit under, essentially what Tom Brady was to Drew Bledsoe.
True. That's
That
exactly
just kind of
what they
sit
do.
behind him and study Tom Brady at least for a year, just to
Right.
kind of see what he's been
But,
doing.
I mean, they also need to talk with Tom and see how long he's planning on being there. I know that I believe I don't actually know the amount of years, but I think he renewed his contract for maybe 3 years approximately. I didn't check.
Yeah.
That's not a fact check, but I know he renewed his contract. So, maybe if it's not this year, it's next year. And, for them to lose the first round draft pick, if there was a year for it to happen to be this year. Now, I believe that they're only, they're projected to lose 5 or 6 games coming into the season this year.
Yeah, those are
there's-
just projections, though.
those are just projections. The Browns are predicted to win one. So hopefully we can get something better than that.
Hey.
Yeah, you should be better than the Browns. No problem about that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying hopefully they're better than what they're projected because it's gonna be a long year again for you, my friend.
Yeah, normally is, but hey, there's always next year, dude. Always next year.
Right. And the year after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just one before you die.
I just want to go to the playoffs once before I die. That's all I want. I'm not even saying a Super Bowl.
Playoffs.
All right. Well, on that note, then we'll take a song break here.
Yep.
And we'll be right back with another segment to talk about. We're gonna play a little Big Sean here.
Yeah.
You're listening to WHEI 88.9, broadcasting live from Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio. I'm Dom Fry, here with Kyle Nash, and also Sean Humphreys, and we're here on the Nashty Freys. Thank you for tuning in with us and listening right now. We appreciate all y'all. So, next topic we want to talk about in the final 20 minutes of the show is the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs started on Saturday, got the ball rolling. A couple good games. The Hawks barely pulled out against the Celtics in Game 1 to be able to capture that. Actually, tonight, though, the Hawks and Celtics are playing. The game, there's 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and it's 53-40.
Very low scoring.
Yeah, this game's going to end if it keeps going this pace, it's going to be 75-60. That's an extremely low scoring.
Right there.
But, honestly, from a lot of the weekend, there really hasn't been too many really good games, though, honestly. There have been a lot of blowouts. The Warriors just trashed the Rockets in Game 1.
Yeah,
And then the Thunder trashed the Mavericks in Game 1 as well.
The Spurs trashed the Grizzlies on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, Clippers went easy over the Blazers. Heat trash the Hornets. The Cavs-Pistons game was actually a lot closer.
That was an
what
exciting
most
game
people
to
thought,
watch.
yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely hard fought within at least the first 3 quarters.
Mavericks barely knock over the Thunder last night to tie up that series 1-1 going back to Dallas. Yeah, Golden State still wins last night without
boy Steph
without
Curry.
without Steph Curry. No, I was about to say Boston because I was looking at the Celtics stat from tonight. So, I mean, I know it's early. It's only been a couple days, but what are the takeaways from first game, 2 games in these series?
And
From any team, Eastern Conference, Western
I think the
Conference.
Spurs are
anybody.
looking strong.
well, yeah.
That's I mean it's no doubt that they aren't strong, but I think that Tony Parker and I believe it's Ginobili.
Manu Ginobili.
Left hand like my Gino.
Yeah, and is it Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah,
Kawhi Leonard, the guy who was just back-to-back defensive of the year.
Yeah.
And then
Defensive player of the
who
year.
else? Don't they got a young guy out there? What was his name?
Oh, I know.
Oh, Tim Duncan.
No, but Tim Duncan's pretty good
Wait,
too.
Tim's
We'll
not
throw
that
him out
young
there.
guy?
I think
Well, they have
they're looking fairly strong right now.
Yeah.
But so is every powerhouse team that's out there. You're talking, you're talking the Warriors easily won without Steph Curry, their best player. Well, I think there's other players that are better than him on the team.
On the Warriors
I'm
team?
just messing.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, Harrison Barnes is the best guy on that
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Klay Thompson still play for them?
Yeah, he put up
Just Klay
34 against
Yeah, I
Warriors
think he's
last
better.
night.
He's better than Steph
I don't
Curry.
know about that. He's decent.
Yeah, go ahead, Dominic. I mean, you probably have real stats to talk about, other than just looking at the scores and saying what teams won and what teams didn't.
man, so just a couple takeaways that I had, and the only game that I've actually watched all the way through from start to finish was the Cavs game. Watched the Cavs Pistons, and I was honestly really surprised at how good of a game that the Pistons gave them. I don't know how much of it was the Cavs coming in and thinking, well, we're the 1 seed, they're the 8 seed, they're just going to kind of give it to us, but the Pistons played about the best first half they possibly could. Oh my word! In that first half, they're just hitting 3 after 3 after 3. The friggin' Caldwell Pope is out here draining threes for them. I'm like, I don't even hardly know who this guy is at all. And he had a phenomenal game. Had 21, ended up for the Pistons. But the Cavs' big 3 played phenomenal as well with James. And that's almost what kind of scares me. Was the Cavs' big 3 played phenomenal, and we only won by 5 points to the Pistons. But
Right.
I think once the ball gets rolling, and everything, the Cavs. I think to a certain degree, the Cavs just didn't
I think
respect
they can
them.
hang in there longer than obviously the Pistons and most teams.
Yeah, I think the Cavs will definitely win the series, but
They'll
the
give 'em a
Pistons
run
aren't.
for their
Yeah,
money.
the Pistons aren't going to give it to them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was actually really surprised as well to see the Heat just trash the Hornets. They actually had the exact same record during the regular season. They were both 48 and 34. And they just, and I guess, you could say that's what experience does. Those Heat players have been there. Obviously Dwayne Wade has been there before. Luol Deng has experience.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson has playoff experience. Dragic has experience. Whereas, you look at the Hornets team and you have Kemba Walker, you have Nicholas Batum.
Al Jefferson.
Yeah, Hal Jefferson coming off the bench. They don't have as much, experience, but still, to win the game by 32 points is, that's a statement. That's a statement. So I was actually really surprised with that game as well. And then even at the same time, the Pacers, I was actually really surprised to see the Pacers win game 1 in Toronto. Then Toronto won last night
was
to tie the
happy
series
about
up at
that.
1-1. You were happy about that? You like
Yeah, I
Indiana?
like Paul George.
Paul George is
I don't like
phenomenal
Indiana. I
player.
like Paul George.
PG3.
Yeah, what was it? 27 points in the second half, I believe, of that game.
Yeah.
Just went off, but yeah, it's funny in this first round. You have games. Did you catch the Mavericks Thunders game last night, Steve?
Yeah, it was actually a really good game. Coming down to the final seconds, Steven Adams just missing the buzzer beater, and the ball was still in his hands as the red light went on the backboard. That was just, I would rather see the Mavs win than the Thunder. I know that KD and Russell Westbrook are definitely making a push to, finally do something in the playoffs. But, Dirk's getting old, and there's a lot of, people on the Mavericks team that are looking to win, and a lot of people came to the Mavericks to play with Dirk. But I mean, I was happy to see the Mavs win and pull it out. But yeah, it was definitely a good game. Probably one of the closer first round playoffs games there was. And I mean, yeah, like you said earlier, I'm glad that the Pacers Raptors series is gonna be close. I like Monte and Paul George and Lowry and DeRozan and whatnot. But I still think my Warriors are gonna pull out in four, take James Harden and the crew in 4 games, and take it to the finals. I just want to see the Spurs and the Warriors play. I that's what I want to see for sure.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I mean, unless the Thunder step it up, I think it's pretty fair to say that those two teams will be the two teams in the Western Conference
That
Finals.
is who I'm looking forward to see play.
Yeah, that'll be good basketball.
More so than probably the Cavs and then the winner of that.
Yeah,
I
Dom,
mean-
who do you think is gonna be in the finals with the Cavs?
In the Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Miami Heat. And I think they'll
Okay.
make for a really interesting
Okay.
too. I mean, I feel like the Raptors I would love to see the Raptors get there, but I don't know. I just feel like they have something missing, whether it's just experience or they just don't seem to play too well when it comes to this point in April.
Yeah.
So, in the Miami Heat been playing great as of late, Dwayne Wade, and they'll make for a really interesting series as well, just because the dynamic of, LeBron James spending all that time in Miami and getting 2 rings down there. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to watch, but I think at this point, the Miami Heat will meet the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
All right, well, on that note then, we're going to go to a little quick song break here, and then we'll be right back to finish our segment, Ask Questions, and we'll be right back after this.
Yeah. No, they don't really want to take his cool off. Boy, throw it. I just press his
We're listening to WHEI 88.9, broadcasting live from Heidelberg University in Tiffin, Ohio. You are listening to the Nashty Freys show, and we got about 6 minutes left. We're wrapping up here, but it's time for Sean's favorite segment, asking each other questions. These are questions that we just think of off the top of our head. It's great. It's a good question. So you want to go first, Sean, or you want me to?
Oh, man. I'll let Sean. Sean can be the first one to ask the question.
All right, Sean, let's hear it.
All right, let's see. I think I might have to pass it to you, Dom. I know you're always ready with a juicy question.
Come on, Dom. I
That's
see
right,
you
man.
over there.
I'm always thinking.
I
I'm
see
always
you.
thinking. I got something. All right, so my question that I came up with, I'm thinking, a simple question, but actually pretty complicated if you think about it. I want to know from each of you, this is a question for both of you.
All right.
What is it about yourself that is unique? What is it that sets you apart from everybody else? Why are you not just another average Joe? What is it that makes you Kyle Nash? What is it that makes you Sean Humphreys?
You go. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that is an interesting question.
Is there nothing unique
Dom.
about you guys? You guys just like average Joe people? I know Kyle Nash ain't an average Joe person.
Maybe it's just that you remember. It's your fault if you're not remembered. Or something. If I have a conversation with you and you don't remember me, that's my own fault, right? I don't know, Dominic.
So you don't feel that you're any different from myself or from Ron Martin
I am
or
different from
Jesse
other people.
Rudolph. Hey, by the way, Jesse Rudolph, you're my best friend. Appreciate you.
I definitely am different than everyone else.
But you don't know how.
It's just my own unique ways. I don't know how to describe it.
You know how to describe it?
I can't write it out with paper. I'm sorry, I can't. You know what's different, but I can't write it out.
You know what, Dom? I'll answer you. You know what's different from me to you? What's different from me to Ron Martin? What's me different from you, Mr. Jesse Rudolph? I like to keep my pimp pants strong. You dig, Cracker? You feel me? I am.
You're what?
Pimp pants strong. Quoting from the old Will. What? Oh my goodness.
Smith?
No.
Will who?
Will Ferrell. The Will Ferrell movie, Kicking and Screaming.
Oh.
What makes me unique is my dancing skills. Whenever I go out dancing, people think that I'm just some, skinny white kid who,
True.
probably can't do a lick of anything. But I drop a dime, I'm dropping dimes,
The commercial with Damian Lillard and
Yeah,
Kevin
very
Love, that's really funny.
Yeah, no, I dancing is just one of the things that I
Alright.
like to do, and nobody really thinks I can do it. So.
All right, that's fair. That's a good statement.
So you want me to ask?
Yeah,
I want to hear
go
from
ahead.
both of you.
Go ahead. Ask your question, Kyle.
So, first off, where were you 3 hours ago? and second off, do you think anybody has ever stalked you? Been stalking you, trying to figure out where you are, what you're doing. Do you think anyone stalks you? And where were you 3 hours ago?
Well, interesting question to ask, Kyle. Gosh, that's what makes you unique.
Yeah.
So 3 hours
See,
ago
right there
was
is an example.
5:58, and man, 5:58. I believe I was in my room. Went to practice, ran, went to the athletic training room and iced afterwards, and then got something quick to eat, and then went back to my room so I could start working on a paper. But at 5:58, I was probably just in my room, still in my sweaty running clothes. And no, I don't think anybody's tried to stalk me. Nothing too spectacular about me. I don't really know why anybody would try to stalk me, and wouldn't really be that exciting or that much fun. So no, I don't think anybody ever has.
How about yourself, Sean? What do you feel?
All right, 5:58. I was, just getting out of the shower. My boy Tim was pretty much half naked playing Destiny in his room. I know Tim's not listening to this. He's still probably playing Destiny or Dark Souls. But you know what? I feel like Cameron Weeks has stalked me before, man. Have you ever got that vibe from Cameron? He's your roommate.
He's kind of a
man.
creepy guy.
He's a creepy dude. He's got that reddish ginger hair. He walks on his tiptoes all the time.
He's trying to steal your soul.
He's got that really weird smile, man. I feel like he just, can come up from behind.
Yeah. I see it. I know where you're
Thank
coming
you.
from.
I mean, you know him best. You went to
High
Liberty
school
Center
with him.
the man,
Actually,
you know?
ask Tim. You know what he feels about the new indoor track that we're making for our project.
The new indoor
Tim
track?
Fagan?
Yeah, me, Tim, and a couple other guys are working on a a
Indoor
marketing
track
strategy for a new indoor track.
for Heidelberg.
No, it's just this isn't gonna. It's gonna be located in Gary, Indiana.
Oh.
I don't even know where that is, but someone in my group said, "Oh, it's really hood." So
Really
we're
hood.
gonna bring some life to Gary, Indiana.
All right, that's cool. All right, so you got a question for us here, Sean, as we wrap up the show?
You know, I think your two questions were exciting enough.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
come on, man.
Sean, we got this one
Dude,
time a
this-
week. You
dude,
get a whole
okay,
week to
let me
think
tell you
about
this
it.
real quick. I'm sorry, I know we going after, but I actually had somebody this week. I'm walking to class, right? And I have class in here in the MCC. And I'm walking to class, and somebody stops me. They walk outside and they say, "Hey, you down, Fry?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. What's up, man?" And they look at me, and they're like, "I just want you to know that I love it on your show when you ask questions. I love getting to
don't
know
think
more." Hey, shut up,
anybody-
Kyle. I love getting to know you guys better. You know, as people, you know, like if I'm taking your opinion on stuff, you know, I love getting to know you guys better. And I was like, thanks, man. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate, you know, you tell me that. So, you know, with that fan out there,
That
really,
one fan out there.
I know they're listening right now. Even though we a minute past our ending time, I know they're still listening.
They
You
want that
can't-
one question, Sean. Like that's what this show is based off of. This is all for the fans.
That's right.
All
we do this
2
for
or
you,
3 fans
people.
out
We
there.
do it for
We get the awards
Kyle
for the
Nash's
people.
mom.
Apparently, we got an award. I'm not sure what for, but
Yeah, something.
We got some
Novus
sort of
or
award.
something.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
So we're gonna be sure to we're gonna share that with the fans though, with our community.
yeah, we got a sweet cash prize. I think maybe. I wish it was a cash prize. I don't know what it is, but I told Dominic if it was a cash prize, I'll be there ASAP. Whoever it was,
Yeah.
I
So-
didn't know
okay,
about it.
so back to
but-
Sean, man. You
Sorry,
can't think of
Sean.
one question.
Are both buried treasure. He hands you this. He's like, you know what? I just dropped my own Justin Morgay Macklemore album with my new haircut, and I'm gonna give you guys some buried treasure, and you have to bury it on campus. Where are you gonna bury your buried treasure that someone don't come and steals your crap?
Huh.
Where are you burying your treasure?
Well,
man?
I'd probably go out. You know, not too many. I mean, besides the freshmen, not too many people go out to the freshman dorms. To King. I mean, Craig Hall. I guess people come because the MCC. I would probably go out to King,
To King.
and I would probably bury it like out. I don't know, somewhere around King. I'm not gonna give the exact location because then if this
That'd
actually
be
happens, then
stupid,
I'd give it
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say I'd give it around King Hall.
All right, Kyle. What about you? Where are you?
You know, if
burying
I had
your
to bury
treasure?
this on campus, it's obvious
Mhm.
that I would dig a very large hole and, you know, put it underneath the track somewhere. Like, it's simple as that. I mean, no one's going to check there, first off. You're not going to find it with no metal detector or nothing because we got that track surface. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
if-
going to say exactly where it's going to be located, but, like, I'm going at an angle, Sean, and it's going to be 20 feet down. You know, it's a fire album, obviously.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
have a stake sitting there, and I'll just tell people it's for measuring with Google Maps or something, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we'll stay there for 20 years. We'll come back, pick it up, and
You'll be a rich man.
yeah, hopefully, that's the plan at least."
Yeah.
I saw someone driving a Corvette the other day, and I was like
Not
he was,
bad.
he was probably about 15 years out from passing. So I was like, you know what? How about you keep that in mint condition, and I'll call you when your time's gone, and I can just go ahead and buy that Corvette off you. But I didn't actually do that. I wish I would have. Sorry, we're going over.
No, that's cool. Anyways, thanks for asking the question, Sean. We appreciate that.
No problem.
So now that it is 9:04, sorry for taking 4 more minutes of your guys' life, but I know that one fan that's out there. I know that he's listening, and we did this for you because we do this show for our fans and for our listeners out there. So I appreciate you guys. All right.
Probably. I would say there's probably 5 listeners out there tonight.
I mean, by 5 he means like 5,000
50.
because like we have to.
We got
you
fans
had to
all
limit
over
it down.
campus that we just get asked by every day.
Yeah, for real
And
though.
thanks for listening.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. So, anyways, we gonna wrap this up then. We thank you guys for tuning in, and we gonna play one more song for you guys, and then that will conclude our Nasty Fries. We will be back next week, April 26th. We'll be back,
Yes, we will.
and hope you guys have a great week. One more song. Here's T.I. Dead and Gone to end it with.
Hey.
Let me kick it to you right quick, man. Not on some gangster shit, man, on some real shit. Anybody done been through the same thing, I'm sure you feel the same way.